Time to upgrade your adventure with an RV from Motorsportsland. Don't put off making exciting memories and exploring the many outdoor hideaways right here in Utah. Come in today and see how Motorsportsland can help you get away, or visit motorsportsland.com.
You're not really ready until you're safe. Summer safely and drive calm.
Inside Sources. Welcome back to Inside Sources here on KSL News Radio. It is great to be with you today. I am Boyd Matheson, and today is the National Day of Prayer. Began 69 years ago, 1952, and was done by a unanimous act in both the House and the Senate, and signed into law by the President. And for almost 70 years now, this first Thursday of May has been the National Day of Prayer. And as we come towards the end of a pandemic, I think prayer has played an interesting role in all of our lives across the board over the last year. And I think it's even more important as we move forward. And we're very pleased to have joining us on the line today Reverend Oscar Moses from Calvary Baptist Church, along with Imam Shuaib from the Utah Islamic Center. Gentlemen, thanks to both of you for joining us today.
Thank you, Boyd, for having me.
Wonderful. And let's start with you, Reverend Moses. It's been a tumultuous year, to be sure. And as you look at this National Day of Prayer, lots of events of all denominations coming together on this National Day of Prayer. What's in your heart today as you look at where we are and where we need to go next?
Sure. Well, I really, really am thankful for a National Day of Prayer. But as Christians or as believers, and knowing that God is sovereign, every day should be a day of prayer. This year has been a tremendous learning experience for many of us. And one of the things that I try to implement at Calvary as it relates to prayer is that we pray specifically for spiritual healing, for physical healing, as well as racial healing. And so that's been a theme for the last year or so.
Wonderful. So powerful. And I love the specificity. There is something about that kind of prayer that is especially powerful. Imam Shuaib, Ramadan Kareem to you. We know it is the middle of Ramadan for you. Tell us about how prayer, especially during this Ramadan season, has been important and different for our friends in the Muslim community.
Well, our prayers are probably everyone knows someone in their immediate family circle or circle of friends who have been infected with COVID. So there's a lot of prayers almost on a daily basis for people whose loved ones are sick. So we pray for all the believers, non-believers, fellow human beings, whether they are in America or Argentina or India or Iraq, anywhere in the world, that may God grant them cure and a speedy recovery. And also those who have passed away from this virus, may God grant them paradise. So our prayers are out for everyone. And but prayer is very unique in the sense that it connects us with the divine, and we all in our various faith traditions have prayer. So it connects us with each other also, because that's something that we can all relate to.
That's right.
Not every faith tradition has a pilgrimage or fasting or some other ritual, but we all have some form of prayer. So National Day of Prayer, it really connects us all together as fellow citizens, fellow human beings.
That's so powerful. And it is that divine connection, again, regardless of faith tradition, that connection is so important for all of us to maintain it. It's why I have holy envy for so many different practices and traditions of different faiths. Reverend Moses, in your congregation at Calvary Baptist, one of the things that I've sensed around the country and here in Utah is that there is kind of this weariness. There is a little bit of a heaviness as we get towards the end of this pandemic in particular. What have you sensed at Calvary Baptist that is going to help in terms of prayer, in terms of how do we lift everyone and get everybody to kind of stand square again and link arms and move forward together?
Yeah, so I think that we're right on target with prayer. We're coming out of the pandemic, and I like to look at it, Boyd, as a kind of a liminal space, whereas, what has happened has uprooted so much of what we're so familiar with that we're now at an opportunity to plant our feet in new soil and experience what new things God has for us as a result of what we've been through, what we've learned as a result of the pandemic, and how we will navigate our way through this course of life for ministry for the future.
So powerful. Planting new things together, that's such an important concept, and I think it's part of the reason why, for me anyway, it's been more about, not how do we go back to what was, but how do we go to what's next, that we're in this moment. And to you, Imam Shoaib, as you look at your congregation, and again, some of that heaviness from some of the loss of lives and loved ones and opportunities and so on, what's the hope in your community, again, especially as you go through this beautiful, powerful period of Ramadan?
Well, Ramadan is a transformative month for the Muslim community, but I think as a larger community as a whole, the pandemic should transform us in the sense that it's not just back to business as usual. We should become more connected, more spiritual, and realize how dependent we are on the Almighty for every inhale and exhale, and how much we are dependent on each other as healthcare workers, and how we all have the same hopes and fears. So we should become more united coming out of this pandemic as one community, as one country.
So powerful. Thanks to both of you for jumping on short notice today on this National Day of Prayer. You both inspire me. I know you inspire your communities, and you show us what it means to really link and lock arms together as we strive to move forward. We'll have both of you back real soon because you make my day better. And these conversations, I think, are important for all of us. Again, Reverend Oscar Moses from Calvary Baptist Church and Imam Shoaib from our friends at the Utah Islamic Center. Thanks to both of you for joining us today.
Thank you, Boyd, and thank you, Imam Shoaib. Thank you very much.
All right. Those are two extraordinary souls right there. And regardless of what your faith tradition may be, that's inspired and inspiring to hear those different things. This always gets me thinking in different ways. And again, on a National Day of Prayer Day, Reverend Moses always leads to that divine connection. And he talked about how important it is that we recognize all of the ways we've become disconnected over the past year and what that opportunity for healing is. And I loved his focus on praying specifically in there at Calvary Baptist for that kind of healing and moving forward. I loved Imam Shoaib in terms of really moving things forward, that transformational shift that really is, if you haven't ever studied Ramadan before, that is worth a deep dive, again, regardless of your faith tradition, because it is about this shift. It's a shift in everything you do in terms of that fasting during the daylight hours, and then eating in the evening and these specific prayers in the evening. It does shift everything. It changes your routine, and a lot of us could use that kind of jolt from time to time. But as the Imam said, it's about creating a shift so that then we can be transformed. And I also love the way that the Imam talked about that interdependent connection that we have to people from around the world, and that's inspiring. And so to me, this kind of day, this National Day of Prayer, again, 69 years now, almost 70, that we've had the National Day of Prayer here in the United States of America. And it is a chance, and there's some great activities and events going on across the state of Utah today that you can be part of that are all either non-denominational or multi-denominational, that are just great opportunities to just pause for a minute, connect with the divine on whatever level you might and interconnect with people of many different faiths. We're at a point the nation needs this day, and we need to move forward. We're going to go ahead and step aside for bottom of the hour news. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation about the National Day of Prayer. We will be joined by Elder Evan Schmutz of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He'll weigh in coming up next.
I'm Dave Cawley, host of the podcast Cold. Our brand new second season focuses on the 1985 disappearance of a woman named Joyce Yost. Hear her voice for the first time. That's Cold Season 2, exclusively on Amazon Music.